Hello, welcome back to Meraki Unboxed. My name's Simon Thompson, your host for today. Great to have you back with us once again. This is Meraki Unboxed, the podcast. We run this every 2 weeks and we always mix things up. So we like to have a little bit of technology, a little bit of culture, a little bit of business, and also to talk about our customers and our partners. And it's those partners that we're really focusing on in today's episode. It's actually a really exciting story where we're going to hear about how one significant reseller of Meraki actually evolved its business operations into really becoming much more of a technology partner. And we'll explain what that means as we go through this episode. So thank you again for tuning in. I hope you are a subscriber. If you're not, please go along to your favorite podcasting app and hit the subscribe button for Meraki Unboxed. We now have about 60 episodes in the can and lots of great content, and a lot of it is still very much relevant. So do please go back and have a look at the archive. I'm sure you'll find some interesting episodes to listen to. So we're going to get straight into it now and introduce Antonio from Bizmate, who is joining us today from Sicily. Antonio, how are you doing?
Hi, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome to have you along today, and we have quite a big time difference, but we're trying not to keep Antonio too late. We're really grateful to him for taking some time out. So Antonio, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And tell us a little bit about your business as well.
Thank you, Simon. My name is Antonio Sapienza, and I'm the app co-founder. The app is a Cisco Meraki technology partner. We've been Cisco partners over the last 10 years. And then thanks to our experience and knowledge on the Cisco technology, we developed several applications using our platform which is called the app.
And that's the story I really wanted to tell today. And so I think one of the first things I wanted to just check on with you is the name. So you mentioned VApp, but how is the company known globally?
The company is called Bizmate, and VApp is basically the name of the product or the platform.
I see.
But we are more known as VApp.
I'd love to hear a little bit of the story of how this all started, how the journey started. So take us back and give us a little history lesson. How did you first become involved with Meraki?
We started working with Meraki since the very beginning, since when the Meraki was first acquired by Cisco. So we started our first projects initially as normal reseller partners. So we developed several projects, especially in Italy, where we are based. Mm-hmm. And then we had a very big opportunity. We've been invited to participate to an international tender. And then we participated proposing Meraki while our competitors propose other infrastructures, traditional infrastructures. Mm-hmm. Then we won the tender. And then once we started the project, we started also our service maintenance, operation and maintenance of the infrastructure. During our work, we had a very important issue that we didn't know how to solve. And because in our company, Bizmate, we have an expertise also on software development, and we actually have we developed and commercialized a product, a platform for data analysis, data integration and data analysis. Mm-hmm. We thought to perform some in-depth analysis using, for the first time, the Meraki APIs on the network equipments. So thanks to this integration and to this investigation that we made using our platform, we were able to solve the issue. And then, so we scored a very good. We had a very good results by using the API.
So you actually had a compelling reason to start looking at the APIs to help solve a problem. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. We thought that using the API we could analyze the network traffic in a different way for some in-depth analysis using the API, of course, and analyzing the data by using our platform. But then it was focused just for solving this issue that we found occasionally. But then, because we had a very good result and then we were able to solve the problem, we started thinking of using the Meraki API and build some products based on the Meraki API integration. So
So that's where the fun started.
yes, yes. So we applied for becoming a technology partner and proposing our VApp platform and a few products. More very technical, very focused on products to be used by system network specialists. So something for delivering in-depth analysis. So something very vertical. To be honest, and so we started with our first products on a tool for understanding, for analyzing and monitoring the Wi-Fi coverage, for example, or for
So like a site survey.
exactly,
Okay.
and some others on the same this kind of products. Then we presented these products to our Meraki reps in Italy during one of our meetings, and they were very surprised from the results because at the time there were not so many technology partners using the Meraki APIs.
Right. Yeah.
So they encouraged us to produce some more product to deliver to invest in this integration, this API integration. So from then we started working very hard on delivering different products based on the Meraki API.
And
But the,
and we know that there's multiple APIs now. So you started off with focus on the MR, is that correct? The first
correct,
ones.
yes,
And so then
yes.
how did it evolve from there into the different products?
Well, the big change was determined by the MV cameras, basically, because we completely changed our approach, because we started integrating data from the Meraki cameras for a different audience, not so much for system network specialists, but more for the business, so more marketing-oriented analytics. And this was very disruptive, I would say,
Was that
because
like a so you hadn't even intended to do that initially? It was mostly around the sort of the network engineers and the sort of technology side of things, but then you just discovered this other capability that the product had as well. Does that sound about right?
yes, it is right. We first started on producing solutions more for system network engineers, so very focused on this performance analysis or health status and so on, which we still have in our offer. But then we tried. We say because at the we got this platform which is able to integrate the data from any digital source in real time. So we thought, why don't we try with the API from the Meraki cameras and see if we can produce some interesting insight and transform this data in real information for our customers. So from there we started working on this, and we now have lots of different products for the full Meraki stack actually.
Yes, and I definitely was curious to hear more about those as well, because that's the really interesting stuff, the sort of solutions and use cases that you're able to assist your customers with. But it's such an interesting story that you described. I mean, you start off. And this happens so often with business, right? You start off down one particular track, and then suddenly you discover a different opportunity that you can potentially take advantage of to move the business in a new and exciting direction. And as you said, you are really one of the pioneers for doing this with the Meraki API. How did you find it to work with? I mean, was it very straightforward to sort of start working with those APIs and using those?
Well, it was very easy to start with, to start working with the Meraki APIs. Of course, it's not the API that we have now, we have today, but it was quite easy to start, especially because we had experience on data integration. So we have a
Right.
platform behind which is able to integrate very easily the data. But I would like to say that this change, it was not just a technology change, because the impact was very, we had a very disruptive impact also on our business, because we basically used to be Meraki partners, the resellers. So we used to sell Meraki and our service on top of this. But we still now are involved in some project where we are able to supply the infrastructure, install and configure. But this is now our business changed completely. Now we are very focused on the data from the Meraki infrastructure.
Yeah, and that's I think the interesting story is just hearing that evolution, and it's amazing. Like I said, because you don't always anticipate these things when you begin the business, you begin the journey of starting a business. You don't always know where it's going to end up. So it's kind of interesting to hear that evolution. So let's get into those solutions and use cases. Maybe talk us through some examples of different industries that you're involved in and the kind of solutions that you offer for them.
Yes. We have now 4 different families of products, basically for every single Meraki product. So we have one family which is called Vision Analytics, which of course contains different products for the Meraki MV cameras. And we have another family of products which we call it Wi-Fi, and as you can tell, is all different solutions and tools for the Wi-Fi, so for the MR, more focused on the tools for monitoring and performance and so on. And then we have another family, very new, for the very new Meraki MT sensors, which we call it Iotools, and it's a solution that we created straight away. As soon as the Meraki sensors were available in the market, we were ready with our product for this quick integration capabilities, which I was talking. And then the last family of product, what we call it Performance Zoom, are some monitor solution for cybersecurity or for security in general, like cloud network backup or syslog analysis or NetFlow analytics. These are products more for Meraki network specialists.
Sorry, go ahead,
Antonio. You were mentioning industries.
Yes, that was the next thing I was about to ask. Is the so we can visualize how these get used in practical real world. How would you describe that?
Different. We work with different industries, from retail to transportation to education, industrial, or even government. Of course, every industry has different case studies based on the products that they are using. For example, from retail, we mostly work with the vision analytics products, so all the marketing-based analytics and dashboard based on the Meraki MV cameras. Transportation, again here for we have different case studies for the cameras, but with a different purpose, more focused on safety and security, for example.
Yeah, and with transportation, just describe that for us. What do we mean exactly by transportation there? Is it just safety, or is it also other aspects as well?
There are different aspects actually. In railways, for example, customers are interested on understanding better their customers, their visitors, and how they move in the stations, for example. But they also want to be alerted in real time if something goes wrong, or if there is a danger, for example, or if someone is, for example, working very close to the platform, or when the train is coming. They also want to use. They have some use cases for quality assurance. They want to monitor how their service is performing. For example, we are able to understand in real time if how long a train stands at the platform, and if, for example,
Or if it's late?
if it's late, yes. Another industry, the education is another sector which we have lots of experience with, especially during the pandemic. We had lots of schools using our products for safety, for understanding, for monitoring social distancing, or for face mask detection, for example. So they are using the app to provide a safe environment for children going back to school, for example. And then we have also some other particular applications for governments wanting to understand how their service is performing. So basically, we work with, we have case studies nearly for every industry. There are, for example, even we work a lot with Meraki partners using our tools for providing their service, especially our cloud network backup, for example. Especially managed service provider can use our platform for securely store their configuration in our environment, for example, or for performing in-depth analysis on syslog or NetFlow, for example.
Yeah, I think what you're doing for me is you're painting a picture of a business that's really taken the Meraki tools and built on top of it, which is the whole story we talk about all of the time when we describe the Meraki platform. That's really what we mean, is we're providing the tool set that enables our customers, including businesses like your own, to essentially provide better experiences for real people in the real world. So it's a very interesting story to hear that. Are there any particular favorites of yours? Any particular favorite deployments that you can think of that were like maybe a new challenge that gave you something new to build?
We receive every day very different requests. Some of them are not feasible, but some others are a real challenge. And then when we receive, and the challenge for us is inspiring. It can inspire new products. For example, now we came out with a new product for delivering special content, custom content on monitors, displays, digital signage based on the on events detected by the Meraki cameras. So we are now able to drive special custom adverts based on demographics analysis, for example. So we can display some particular information based on what the camera detected. And most of the time, these products come out from special requests from our customers. That's why we encourage our customers to ask for customization, because for us is a good way for developing the platform capabilities.
It's really should be really encouraging, I think, to anybody out there who's thinking about starting a business in this sort of area. Is that you maybe need to start that business with a couple of really great ideas, but as we're hearing here, I mean, potentially your customers start bringing ideas to you, and so the business starts to build its own momentum at that point. And so it's amazing to hear that you're benefiting from that. And as you said, I mean, this is all about the change of experiences in the real world. And since the real world's dynamics are constantly changing, and the pandemic's a great example of that, then it's going to bring opportunities to us who are charged with basically trying to help and trying to provide solutions there. It's very interesting
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, when you work with analytics, sometimes could be scaring to work from scratch. But we are very lucky because we have this platform behind, which can help us delivering new projects in very short time, and so we are not scared to face new challenges or new requests, because we know that we can deliver a new product or a new solution in very short time. And this is a real advantage because it allows us to have a very up-to-date offer, and then a good advantage also working with the entire stack from Meraki.
Yeah, and how many how many different solutions have you got up to now?
We have 16 different products now.
Wow.
When we started, was just two. But our business changed a lot since from the beginning. From when we started, even the platform has completely changed, and we made some mistakes, but we learned from when we experience. It was all experience. It wasn't easy at the beginning because there were not so many tech partners, and then it wasn't easy at all. But
Yeah.
now we are getting all the rewards from all the hard work.
Yes, absolutely. And it's not easy being a pioneer, which is how I think of your organization as one of the early tech partners for Meraki. And of course now there's a huge number. I actually should have checked the number before I started recording, but it's a pretty big number now, and there's a whole bunch of different tech solutions out there, and we featured some of those previously on other podcast episodes as well. So there's plenty to find out, and of course you just start bouncing ideas off each other and seeing opportunity where perhaps it was invisible to you before. So very exciting way to run a business, I think. Okay, Antonio. Well, I really want to thank you very much for telling us the story of VApp today. And maybe one thing we should do before we disappear is just to share with everybody where they can learn more about your solutions.
Yes, thank you. You can find some more information on vapp.io. So it's v-app.io is the URL. I encourage customers, or even if you are curious, to register. Very few information we require, and you can drive test all our products for free. So free trials available for partners or end customers, and we will be happy to show the platform capabilities, and then if you can get very good business results by using our platform.
Yeah, and those trials are so important. I think they've served us very well at Meraki, and it sounds like it's doing the same thing for you as well.
Yeah, very true. Because we have a very high percentage of conversion in real contracts from the trial. So this means a lot for us.
Awesome. Antonio, thank you so much for taking time out. As I said at the beginning, I know it's getting a little bit late in the day for you, so really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great. And so time to wrap things up. Thank you once again to all of you for tuning in and listening to today's episode of Meraki Unboxed. It has been a pleasure to have a conversation with Antonio today, and we keep these going all the time, and they're based on a lot of the ideas that come from you. And so that's exactly how this conversation came about, and we love hearing from our partners, but also, of course, from our customers who are deploying and using Meraki in the real world. So if you have an idea for an episode, or you'd like to come on and tell your story, do please reach out to me. You can easily find me online. My handle on Twitter is @MerakiSimon. And if you just ping me a note on there, I would love to hear from you, and we can get into a conversation and maybe get you on the podcast. That would be really awesome. So time to wrap things up, as I said, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks. So if you're subscribed, awesome. You'll get a ping and you'll know you've got a new episode. If you're not subscribed yet, well, you know what to do by now. We look forward to speaking to you in 2 weeks from now. Stay well, stay safe. Bye-bye for now.